help me be a better person, to help me just transform that adversity into something bigger, right? And that's where the Unbreakable woman came from, because I went through so much and I thought I was going to break in pieces, but I didn't, because I made decisions that were so important for me to make in that moment.
That's amazing. And you're one of the things that I want to impress upon our viewers is that you're not alone. These are things that Soribel has been through, and this is just like the tip of the iceberg when we talk about all the things that you have gone through and still come out on the other side. Just this amazing person who's still focused on serving her community and focused on serving the world and leaving the world a little bit better for you having been here. All day long, you're seeing clients and they're coming in to see you because they really feel like they're in the throes of some kind of adversity. I mean, in your case, it was a health issue. In other cases, it might be friends, family, might be financial issues, all sorts of things that push us over the edge and make us feel like we might want to break. What kind of advice do you have? Give us some tips, because people who tune into our show, they like the tips, Soribel. They actually like to leave the show with some concrete advice that they can use in their life. So give us some tips about how we can take your example and go into our lives and be unbreakable even when the seas are stormy.
So there are a few things that I did. And one of the things that I learned in this process, and that I knew that was true to myself for me, is that when you are healing others, you heal yourself. So when I feel that I'm in the middle of the storm and I feel that I need healing, I know exactly where I can find my healing. It's in the process of healing other people who are hurt. One thing that I think that people need to do, if we want to talk about step by step, the first step is getting quiet. When the storm and the adversity is wanting to take over, you really need to go quiet. You need to go quiet to a space where you can do a self-evaluation about where you at, right? We want to evaluate where I'm at right now. What is going on in my life in this moment? And how did I get here? One of the things that I think that in my self-evaluation I found is that although I was doing work that I loved, I was very comfortable. I was in my comfort zone, right? I was not pushing myself to the limits. I was not doing more than I could do. I was just comfortable. So you have to do a self-evaluation, first of all. You need to go quiet, get a journal, put some meditation music, and do a self-evaluation. When you self-evaluate, it's an opportunity for your inner self and God, the universe, whoever you believe in, to give you those answers that you're looking for. Identify where you are right now. The second step that is always important for me is that I always like to use my prayer. And my prayer always is this: God, show me the path. Show me the path and put the resources and the people that I need in order for me to overcome. Because here is the thing: there's no way that you can ever overcome anything alone. You need someone to hold your hand. You need someone to help you. Sometimes it could be a family, a friend, it could be a professional, a therapist, a coach, but someone has to be part of your tribe, has to be part of that support system. So identify where you are right now. Okay, make a decision and say a prayer about guidance, and make a decision. What is the support system that you're going to need? And here the word make a decision. A lot of times we are afraid to decide. And I needed to decide that I wanted to be alive. I needed to decide that I wanted to be with my child. Of course, I didn't have 100% control of it, but guess what? If I didn't try, I wouldn't find out, right? So what I did is that I chose to join forces with the universe, that he can do his part, that the universe can do the part that belongs to him, because he's always working in our favor. And then I was willing to do my part. I'm always willing to do my part. There's so much power in the action. and a woman who takes action. There is power in a woman that decides who she needs in her tribe. There's power in a decision, that woman that knows what she desires, that she is clearly able to identify what is it that she wants. I wanted life, and I was sure about that. So I didn't have 100% control, but I knew that I needed to do all I could do in my power so I could be here today. And identifying that support system, that tribe that can carry you over is very important. And once you know where you are and you know what you want and you identify your tribe, you need to have a planning action. You need to have a plan. And that plan for me was finding the best doctor that I could find to do this brain surgery. For me was to get ready and prepare my son, prepare myself, get the support, do the things that humans have to do. I made sure that my will was on point, my living will was on point, that the doctors that I needed was on point. I literally saw dozens of neurosurgeons. Florida, Cleveland, New York, Boston, in Connecticut, New Haven, Danbury, Hartford. I was determined to find the best person for me. And when a woman is determined, when a woman knows exactly where she wants to go, she can activate her inner GPS, because we have something inside of us that is able to give us the strength that we need to get through it. I used to say, you know what? If I ever lose a child, you better bring some kind of broom and what you call that, garbage picker. Please bring it and just pick me up in little pieces. Until I lost Giancarlo, I understood that there's a power within us that carry us through adversity. And that when a woman is strong in who she is, what she wants and what she believes, she can overcome anything, because there is it's like an activation inside of you of power that you don't know how powerful you are until all you have is that strength, and you just become who you need to become to overcome. So those are the steps for me. Go quiet, ask for guidance, identify your tribe and the support that you need. Know what you want and what you desire. If you are wishy-washy about your desires, that's what you're going to get. Create a plan and take the actions that are necessary within your power. You can never have 100% control of anything, but the portions that you do have control, take control of that. For example, I knew, because the doctor told me that they were going to have to shave my head. So when I went to my hairstylist and I was telling her, like, I feel out of control. I feel like I don't know what to do. I feel like everything is just like a tornado in my life. I feel like I don't have no control. And she said to me, so let's gain control of one thing today. That one thing that you have control to, let's take control over that. And that was me cutting my hair. So she went and she did a pixie sexy cut, really short on the side. She added some, little extensions on the top. I was looking like Rihanna, something like that, like really pretty, really sexy. And I left there feeling empowered. Find something that you can control today. In the middle of a storm, you cannot control all the things in the storm. But you can control how you react to the storm. You can control who you're going to believe in inside of the storm. Or you can just give up and jump out and just, drown and die. But you don't have to die, unless that's God's will and whatever. But you have power in some things, and just do the best that you can with the tools that you have. And that's what I decided to do.
Some of us have been struggling because of the pandemic, and it's affected our businesses adversely. What sort of advice would you have for us as we move forward? And I'm feeling like the advice that you have for being unbreakable in life feels like it might be similar to what you have to put in place for your business. But what do you think? What do we need to have in place for our businesses so our businesses can be unbreakable even in times of adversity?
Here is the thing. Your business is as strong as you are. If you decide that the adversity is going to take you over, if you believe that the adversity is going to take your business out, you better believe that will take it out, because you're already believing that everything's going to be bad, that everything is going to get destroyed. So similar to your life, which are some of the same principles. In my business, when the pandemic hit, I decided that there was no way that the pandemic was going to take me out. There was no way. Of course, I didn't have control over everything, but I had control over some things. That Monday, after everything got shut down, I came from vacation on that Sunday. On Monday, I spent the whole day calling every single client of mine, and I told them how to use Zoom. And those that were not sure about how to use Zoom and that they wanted sessions in Zoom, I convinced them, because I was so determined and I was so passionate about the continuation of treatment, that they were convinced that, okay, Zoom is probably the best thing right now, right? And I lost like 2 clients that really were not interested in doing, sessions over Zoom. Once again, I did the same steps that I'm teaching you here. I went quiet and I said, God, show me the path. I believe that inside of every adversary, there is success. I believe that. So you need to show me the path, and what I need to do, I'm willing to do my part. If I need to sit here every day until midnight, I will do that until I get these under control. And I did. And I transfer everybody into virtual. And guess what? When I transfer into virtual, it was just me. Just me. Right now, I have over 25 providers in the practice, not including administration and all the teams that I have available. You know why? I went quiet. I asked the right questions. I decided what I wanted. I looked for the support that I needed. I created a plan and I put that plan into action. And just in 2020, between 2021 to now, my business has grown over 90%. Of course, every single business has a different model, and there's different factors to look at. However, the process doesn't change. You still energy. You still need to fix your energy. The other day I was working with a client and she was like, I don't know what's going on, but I feel stuck. Clients are not calling and this and this and the other and blah, blah, blah. I say, your energy's off. Come over. Let's do some energetic work, some mindset work. And you see, there's magic in that work. She came over, I did a session with her and she said, can you believe that my phone has not stopped working? I said, because it's not the business. The problem is not your business. The problem is your attitude towards your business. You were holding the energy and the flow of money and clients coming to you because you were not doing the work. The business is us. I am SM Psychotherapy and Counseling Services. The health of my business is represented on how healthy I am. If I don't educate myself, if I don't learn about business strategies, business marketing, business, all the business foundation, all the things that needs to be implemented, energy first, right? Energy first. Then everything else is going to crumble because I am the face of this.
This is so outstanding. And at the beginning of each show, just before we start, every single time I pull a card, we have all these cards. Some of them have been gifts from some of our viewers. They're all amazing opportunities for us to get a nice little thought for the day or a nice thought for the week. And so I pull a card for us just to give us something to think about. And you'll be so surprised, Soribel, the card that I pulled. You couldn't make this stuff up. It says, everything is always working out for me. This is from the Getting into the Vortex deck by Abraham Hicks. And it says, nothing ever goes wrong because every piece of contrast, no matter how wrong it seems to be, is always helping you to clarify what it is you do want. And that is the thing that we want you to remember most of all. The contrast, no matter how it looks in any moment, is contributing mightily to your expansion. The things that you call things going wrong in your life experience are actually only the distance between the things that are so right and your current perspective about them. I feel like this is everything that you've just been talking about. What do you think?
I think so. I always say this. Adversity is just the push that you need to go into the next level. You know why?
Ooh, I have
Because
to write that one down. Say that again, Soribel.
adversity is the push that we need to go to the next level. You know why? Because sometimes the universe is sending us a message and we pretend like we don't hear it. We pretend like we don't know it, like we don't hear it. So guess what? Since you're not listening, honey, I'm going to push you. Since you want to be in your comfort zone and be cute, I'm going to show you that I didn't bring you here to be in your comfort zone. I brought you here to do amazing things. And people that do amazing things are not sitting on their comfort zone. They're not. The warriors, the queens, they're kings, they're people with purpose, with something inside, with energy. They're brave. They know what they want and they go for it. They're not sitting in a corner waiting to see what's going to happen, right? So that experience really helped me set the foundation for me to be here. And that chapter is just like a glimpse of all the greatness that there is inside of me to share with the world. And there is no way that I'm going to stay quiet and not share it.
Soribel, people are watching, they are riveted, just the same way I was that very first day that we met. And they want to know, how do we connect with Soribel?
Well, I'm everywhere on social media as a business owner. Marketing is my jam. Some of my friends says that I'm the queen of marketing because I love marketing. It's the only way that you can get your clients in is by marketing, whether if it's by word of mouth, online, traditional marketing, you name it. You can find me everywhere on Facebook, Soribel Martinez, on Instagram, XO Soribel. SM Psychotherapy and Counseling Services is on Instagram and Facebook. If you guys need any type of services for your families in the state of Connecticut, we are here to serve you. Even if you are in another state and you need help finding a therapist, please do not hesitate to send me a message. I will help you. It doesn't matter if you're Texas or somewhere else. I do it all the time. I connect people all the time. If you're looking to grow your business, give me a call. I was just telling that to Davia that my next book is going to be about how to build a $1 million business because there's so much to be learned to take our businesses to the next level. So hit me up if you have a question, if you want a consultation, if you want to learn more about what is the energetic work that you need to do to get your business where it needs to be. It begins with you. Your business means nothing if you're not on point. If you're not doing what you need to do.
And can you tell us a website that people could go to if they want to learn more about you, Soribel?
Oh my God, soribelmartinez.com. That's where I promote my sex coaching, sex therapy services. psychotherapy and counseling services.com. That's where we promote our mental health services and business coaching. And there's other websites, but those two are the main ones where you can learn so much more. But if anywhere you go, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, you will find posts about who I am, what I do, and what we're doing in the world.
Beautiful. Soribel, thank you so much for being a part of our show today. I really, really appreciate you tuning in. For those of you who would like a free gift from Soribel, I invite you to go to growsmarternotharder.com/bundle. And there you will find a beautiful, amazing gift from Soribel directly to you, along with 15 other beautiful gifts from our heart here at Ladies Power Lunch to you. One of the benefits of tuning in live to the show is that after the half hour is done, we keep this conversation going. So if you're watching on the replay, my advice to you is tune in every single Tuesday morning at 11, because you'll get to be part of the conversation even past the half hour mark. And for those of you who are tuning in and you're just watching on the replay, thank you so much for joining. We'll see you guys on the next show. All right, let's shift gears a little bit, and I want to bring in Adam to join in on the conversation. But before we do that, Soribel, I just want to ask you one more time, for those who might be tuning in a little bit late and they might have missed your initial introduction. Hi, Soribel. Thank you so much for being our special guest today. I would love to invite you. Will you please introduce yourself? Tell everybody who you are and share a little bit about all the amazing things that you're doing in the world. I don't think we have time to hit every single item because you're doing so much, but can you share with everybody who you are and what it is that you're passionate about?
Yes. So my name is Soribel Martinez. I am a licensed clinical psychotherapist. I'm also the CEO and owner of SM Psychotherapy and Counseling Services, bestseller, and in process of writing a solo book that's going to be launching in March. So stay tuned. And there's so much that I'm doing. I am such a creator. You know, I'm very creative in my mind and I need to be busy. I just went back to school to finish my doctorate because I am so passionate about creating legacy. My grandmother was illiterate until she became an adult, and my uncle taught her how to read and write. And she's one of those women that I admire so much because even though she was illiterate, had 5 children, she went back to school and became a nurse and learn about numbers. And like she's genius, right? So I'm so glad for her paving the path for me to be that strong woman that I am today. So those are a few of the things that I'm doing. I'm always doing something.
Well, Soribel has over 20 years experience being a psychotherapist. She manages her group practice. She sees her patients. She supports us as we grow our businesses. And so she's doing so many different things. She has her nonprofit side of her business. She's a best-selling author. We can't keep up with you, Soribel, but we can definitely take your advice and use it to support us as we go through our own journey. And we were talking a little bit earlier, Soribel, about what it takes to be unbreakable as a person and also unbreakable in our businesses. And people might see you because when we see you, there is no doubt that you have such presence and gravitas. People see you and they don't know the full story of what Soribel has been through. And they don't understand that Soribel is just like me and just like you. And Soribel has been through so much. Can you share just a tiny bit about some of the adversity that has pushed you to be the amazing woman that you are today?
Thank you. You know, one thing that I do very little in my life is to allow the past to be what defines me. I believe that every adversity, every situation that I have gone through my life is just an opportunity for me to grow stronger, be a better person, a better human, connect more with God, with my own values in spirituality, my family, my son, and really create the legacy that I decided I wanted to create when I was 7 years old. I decided that I was going to be a leader when I was 7. Funny enough, at 7 years old, standing there looking at the star, I was like, one day I'm going to be a business owner, and one day I'm going to be a leader, and one day I'm going to write a story. But by the way, God, you know what? I need something to write about, right? I didn't know what I was asking for. I didn't know as a 7-year-old what I was asking for. So in 2009, I unfortunately was diagnosed with 2 brain aneurysms. And it was a very difficult time of my life. And mainly, I think my biggest issue was my son. I felt like I was not here. He was not here long enough, and I was not here long enough with him for me to just leave him motherless. I want to be with him. I wanted to see him graduate from kindergarten and first grade and second grade. And now that he's in high school, that he's a sophomore, and I see him like this young man, I'm like, I want to cry, because it's like when I was going through the process of working on being here for him, I used to imagine my life with him here. There was no room to imagine me not being here. There was only room for me to be here. And that required me to go through a process of change and transformation in my mindset and my perspective, how I was looking at adversity in my life. And a psychologist told me, you know what, Soribel, if you keep thinking about death, you're going to die. You know that. You're a therapist, you know how that works. Whatever you decide is going to happen is what's going to happen. So after that one session, I say, you know what? It's true. I want life. I want to see my son graduate from kindergarten, first grade. And my son to this day, he really don't understand why I make a big deal out of like, he's starting sophomore year. Oh my goodness. Like, he doesn't understand it, right? But really, I created that vision when I was going through a really hard time of my life, because I needed to co-create my future with God. And I felt that although I didn't have a control over if I was going to be alive or not, there were things that I had control of. My attitude towards adversity, how I was going to react and behave around adversity, how was I going to feel during the adversity? What were my values and belief systems during the adversity? Was I going to get in tune with my desires, or I was going to just let life happen to me? I refused to let life happen to me. Until the last day of my life, I will continue to take the actions to create the life that I deserve. And when God decides that, hello, you have enough, I have enough. But I think that there's a lot of music inside of me that needs to be played before that day happens, right? So I chose to decide that I want life and that I was going to join God in that co-creative process so I could be here and only take control of the things that I could control, like cutting my hair before they shaved my hair, like getting my affairs in order so my son was taken care of just in case, getting the best doctor that I could possibly get, getting my tribe together of women and support system that I needed to get through it. I had an aunt that came all the way from Spain to take care of me and cook for me every single day. She used to massage my back, my feet. You know what I'm saying? Like pamper me, help me, maybe special juices and kind of like keeping that spirit, right? And I remember that the plan was that John will go, my son will go to one of my aunt's house for 2 weeks while I recuperated from surgery. But John and I had a very special bond. Right? Jan and I breastfed Jan Anthony from day one. Jan Anthony had never had regular milk or formula or nothing. I was very dedicated to breastfeeding. It was so important to me, right? So that was the first time that he was really disattaching from me, right? Like that for a long period of time. And he was not having it. And he told my aunt, call my mommy. I want my mommy now. 3 years old. And when my aunt calls me, she said, he wants to talk to you. I don't know what to tell you. I go on the phone. Hi, baby, how are you? I want you now, mommy. Come and pick me up. I want to go home. I want to be with you. And that was another decision that I needed to make because, I didn't really want him to see me this way, right? But what is more important? That they learn how to go through adversity with us, or that they're away from us and still get traumatized, right? So I made the decision that, okay, he wants to be here. I want him here too. So when he saw me, he was like, Mommy, you look like a monster. Are you a monster? In that moment, that broke my heart internally. But I had to find the strength to say, no, Mommy just had a procedure and Mommy is healing. But if you want to go to auntie house, you can while Mommy gets better. And he said, no, I want to be with you. So these are the things that are so important, right? That when we are in the middle of the adversity, we understand. And I believe like 2 and 2 is 4, that everything that happens in my life has a purpose. And that no matter how hard the storm may be, there's always someone in that ship with me, making sure that I'm okay. And maybe just before that ship is going to tilt over, he can come and rescue me. So step 1, get quiet. Go deep inside of you, right? Sometimes there's a lot of noise. People were like, but Soribel, why are you? But God showed me that you shouldn't have the surgery. But too much noise. I needed to go inward. Because when the universe wants to communicate with you, he doesn't need translators. He doesn't need He doesn't need nobody to intermediate between you and him. You can ask, and I said, show me the path. Show me the resources. Put the right people in front of me. And then I found Dr. Karushi. And when I met Dr. Karushi, I'm very sassy and fresh. And I go to Dr. Karushi and he said, hi, how are you? And I was already a little bit like, because I have seen so many doctors and none of them did convince me. And I already knew so much about brain aneurysms that all I needed to learn was just to do the surgery. I knew everything about it. I researched, I read the books. I knew about it. So I was a little, and I said to him, so Dr. Karushi, I'm a therapist. If you come to me and you ask me for help, do you want me to help you or you want to find your own help? And then he said, you that kind of client, right? You that kind of client. I say, yes, I am. I know everything. He says, I need 2 weeks to study your films. And you need to come back in 2 weeks before I can give you any answers. I came back 2 weeks later. And when he started talking to me, he got a piece of paper and a pencil and started drawing. And I said, he knows what he's talking about. And I decided that day that I was going to do the surgery. And I believe that he was the best person for me. I think that God sent him to me. And he was right here in Hartford, So I went into surgery on September 24th. That was a Friday. Monday morning, I went home walking on my own feet. When the statistics said that I was supposed to be dead or paralyzed or this and the other, I didn't want to hear it. I told Dr. Karushi, just give me the paper and I signed them. Don't worry. So you have to go within. Say the prayers that most support you. Make a decision to identify the tribe that you need to support you, whether it's the professional, friends, health, free, whatever they are. Just identify that tribe that's going to carry you through. And also, you need to make a decision to know what you want. Something that I find a lot in women that I work with is like, women don't know what we want. A lot of times we can't even decide what we want to put on. We don't know what we want for dinner. We don't know what we want to go on vacation. We don't know what kind of husband we want. We don't know what kind of car we want, we struggle with these things because society has said that maybe we are the weakest link. But I am here to show that we're not, right? So when you know what you want, you're then able to create a plan, put a plan in place. What are the things that you need to do? I was telling a client yesterday, okay, we've been talking a lot for many weeks. Now you need to show me what is the first step that you're going to take? What is the first thing that you can do today to make a difference in your life? Because manifestation has the action. You can never manifest what you desire if you're sitting in the corner crying and feeling bad about yourself. And feeling bad that things are not working out. And oh my God, I have a brain aneurysm. And oh my God. And life is so just happening to me and it's so bad. I am a victim of my circumstances. You are never a victim of your circumstances. You're only a victim when you decide not to be victorious. But when you decide that victory is yours, you will always win. So create that plan, take the action, activate that GPS inside of you. And that GPS needs to have you identify where you are in your life. How did you get there? And once you understand how you got there, I knew how I got there. I got there because I was living very comfortable. I was very comfortable. I was in my comfort zone. I was living my life just like if everything was great, but I was not made to just sit in my comfort zone. And the women that win in the world are women who are out of the comfort zone. And when the universe sees that you don't want to take the step into the stretch of the growth, he sends adversity to stretch you out so you can get to the other side. And I learned that. So you need to know where you at and you need to know where you're going, and then activate the GPS and make sure that you're taking every single step of the things that you have control of, because the universe is always working for you. I always tell that you're always working for me. You're always moving, doing what you got to do. He's always working for us. The problem is that if you don't do your part, then you can see the manifestation because the action belongs to you and to me.
You say, Soribel, that adversity is the push we need to get to the next level. And the tips that you've given us are get quiet. That's tip number one. Tip number two, make your connection with whatever your higher power is for you. You talk about using prayer, God, the universe, and asking for guidance. Step three, knowing your support system and making a decision about what sort of support you need. Step four, know your desire and make a decision. Step five, make a plan and be determined. Make a plan that activates your inner GPS. And then your bonus step is take action based on what is in your power. Take control of the things that you have control of. And these steps you've said apply whether we're talking about our life, our personal lives, or whether we're talking about our business growth. And I feel like this is just so interesting because a lot of this is things that we kind of know, but maybe we're not putting into action. I want to call in one of our guests to just give us some feedback about what you have been getting from what Soribel has been saying. Adam, would you mind unmuting and sharing with everybody who you are, what you do, and just how this conversation is resonating with you? You're still muted, Adam. There you go.
Sorry, technical difficulties. I didn't even hear the question you were asking.
We just want to know who you are, what you do, and how this conversation is resonating with you.
So my name's Adam Latin. I am the founder of The Clearest You. I do some similar work. I'm not a licensed clinician, but I do work with people who've experienced a lot of trauma. So I understand a lot of what she's saying. I also am a big believer in the concept of warrior and victorious. I think those are really important things. So when I work with clients, I also equally focus on the idea of more action related steps. I think that's a key component of what she was talking about, is
Mhm.
really taking action. And that I come from a slightly different place where I don't believe necessarily we're going to find what we're looking for in the quiet of ourselves. I actually believe we always need guides. We always need people to help lead us in the right direction. And that often God does need an interpreter to come through for us, especially when we're in pain or trauma. But I love what she does. I know that she's obviously been doing it for forever and has amazing capacity to work with the people that are right for her. And so I absolutely love listening to the energy of another person helping people find their power and really recognizing different things. For me, I'm also think it's really important to celebrate and learn to celebrate, because I feel like it's something that we haven't really learned how to do or talk about anymore. So I think that's kind of another piece, is that I feel like she's the type of person who will teach someone how to celebrate, but I don't feel like she mentioned it. And
Celebrate.
so,
It's true, I didn't mention that.
It's true, but you know what, Adam, thanks for reminding us about that. Because if I know one thing about Soribel, is that she is always the one reminding me to celebrate. I call Soribel, she's like, yep, I'm getting my nails done.
I'm a big believer in celebrating all the things.
Yes.
All the things. We should never wait for someone else to acknowledge all the things that we do, little, big, medium, it doesn't matter to me. I celebrate just being here, just like waking up, just that every day is a celebration for me. It is. Even when I'm writing the chapters of the book, it's like a celebration of life or gratefulness of everything. Like celebration is a huge, especially women. We don't recognize the work that we do a lot. We don't celebrate ourselves a lot. We don't acknowledge so much
right.
all the things that we do. So it is really important to celebrate.
And a lot of women don't ask people to celebrate with them.
That's true.
Even
too.
if they're celebrating, they do it privately, whereas they'll be the first people to celebrate someone else. And so it's really about recognizing that sometimes people don't know that they need to be celebrated. So you need to ask someone to celebrate you. And I think that's a key component as well.
And asking the right people in your tribe to celebrate.
Right. And I think that's a key portion as well.
Yes.
Asking people that can celebrate you in the right ways. And that's a key component, really being clear on yourself, clear on what you need, clear on how you're supported. I think it's a big conversation that people are like, wait, you mean I have a right to decide who celebrates with me, who supports me? Like, even having that conversation, that they have a right to say, yes, that person can celebrate with me, or no, I don't want you a part of my celebration. Like, that big no word is so essential and such an unused tool when someone's really shown how to use it properly.
Yeah, it's true.
One of the things that I realize is that a lot of it is cultural. A lot of it is built into the way that we're raised. So I'm trying to change things a little bit with my family, where I invite my kids every day. I ask them, maybe I ask them in the morning, ask them again in the evening, what are you most proud of yourself for? What is it that has happened today that makes you proud of yourself? What do you want us to celebrate? And my little one thinks it's a game, and my older one thinks I'm just lame. Hey, that rhymed. But I feel like I'm giving them permission from this early age, permission that I don't feel like I got, to celebrate their wins and to embrace the things about them that are good and to focus on that, because in that gratitude, there is, like you talk about, Soribel, manifestation of even more good. What you focus on expands.
And psychologically for children,
Yes.
we don't want them to depend so much on what somebody else think that they're good at or how proud they are of them. They need to learn how to be proud of themselves.
Yeah.
And understanding that they're doing the work. I don't go to school every day and be a great student. He's doing it. So you should be proud of that. I say you should be proud of yourself.
Yes.
For example, my son has a coach, and I see how he goes to his appointment with his coach, and I always say, aren't you proud of yourself that you're so responsible to go to your meetings and get what you need? That you should be proud of yourself. And often I restrain myself from saying I'm proud of him because I want him to be proud of him.
I love that. I love that. Soribel, we're almost out of time, but I would love for you to give us one piece of homework, just one thing that we can do once we leave this show to improve our lives and improve our businesses and to make ourselves unbreakable. Just one last piece of homework.
I want you to grab your journal, get maybe some meditation music on, go to a safe place for you, and do a self-evaluation of where you are right now in 2022. And once you evaluate where you at, how you got there, I want you to identify what did you want in 2023 for your life and for your business. And once you do that, I want you to think about, activate your imaginations of what it is that you desire for you in 2023. How do you want to feel in 2023? How do you want to behave in 2023, right? And how are you going to think next year? And do that in your journal. That's powerful homework there.
And Soribel, when we do that and we have done that evaluation, what is going to be the value of that for us?
Everyone needs to know where they are standing. You can never get a car to get to a specific address to New York if you don't tell the GPS where the car is standing in that moment. Try it. Go to New York and tell the GPS to take you to New York, and don't give that GPS some information. It won't go anywhere. So you need to tell the GPS, your internal GPS, this is where I'm at. This is how I got here, but this is where I want to be. Now, God, guide me to get the step-by-step process to get to my destination. And you will get a plan in place. That step-by-step is the plan that you need to create to bridge the gap between where you are to where you want to be.
So turn left, turn right, continue straight ahead.
That's
I
right.
love it.
That's
It's
right.
awesome. It has been such a pleasure talking to you, Soribel. I want to say thank you to Adam for also tuning in today with us and giving us the benefit of his perspective, reminding us to celebrate. I hope that you'll tune in next time for a show when we have another amazing guest. And in the interim, if you'd love to get a gift from Soribel and to connect more deeply with her, I invite you to go to growsmarter.com/bundle. There is a beautiful gift from Soribel to you, and also 15 other gifts from some of our other guests. Thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in today, and I'll see you guys on the next show. Bye, everyone.